Man, I really debated on whether I should do this video or not, because the Angry Video Game Nerd, aka James Rolfe, is kind of the reason that I got into making YouTube videos, and he's kind of a beloved character in the retro video gaming community on YouTube. But he's been doing some weird shit lately. The first weird thing he's done is put an old oil drum of expired mayonnaise in every single one of his videos. The second weird and shitty thing he's done is a band called Rex Viper, or as fans like to call it, Ass Wiper. Stick around and let's figure out what's the deal with this band of his. This is Dancing with Ghosts. Rex Viper is a band, quote-unquote, that does mashups of video game music and 80s songs all played on live instruments. The lyrics are also changed to be more video game oriented. Parental floss already did that. The band was first conceived during the pandemic of 2020 when James Rolfe wanted to form a band with the intention of playing live shows. Since that was not really a reality at that time, they decided to just release the videos on YouTube where they would get more traction anyway. James decided to make the music, quote, video game themed and uplifting, something like some big 1980s montage. The first video dropped on July 8th, 2020, and was called Mighty Wings and Hadoukens, which is a mashup of the Cheap Trick song Mighty Wings from the Top Gun soundtrack and Ken's theme from Street Fighter II. Rex Viper would go on to release 3 more music videos as of the recording of this video, and they are all some of the cringiest shit I have ever seen. There, I said it. Now let's take a look at why these videos are just so awful. God, where do I start? Let's begin by meeting the band. The dad energy is very strong here. First off, we have Kmart brand Rivers Cuomo on vocals. We have a couple of middle-aged dads on bass, lead guitar, and drums who still think that wearing dark sunglasses make you look cool. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. You have James Rolfe ironically rocking out on rhythm guitar. Like, seriously, he looks so awkward playing the guitar, it's blatantly obvious that this is not his field of expertise, which makes me feel that much more uncomfortable watching him. But at least he's like hamming it up as like a wink to the fans that like, hey, I'm not taking this seriously, I know it's corny. But probably the most offensive thing about these videos is this talentless scoop of mashed potatoes named Justin. I could make an entire video about my grievances with this guy. The AVGN community hates Justin, and I completely understand why. He literally came out of nowhere, and like a cancer growth, he spread himself into every aspect of Cinemassacre and slowly started eating away from the inside. Why would James allow this former edgelord that nobody cares about so much prominence on his channel? This is a complete fucking mystery to me. I know James has explained in the past that this dude helps him with videos and ideas, but that doesn't explain why he has to be in almost every video that James uploads. He just comes across as a talentless sponge who is painful to watch, especially in these music videos. I so desperately miss the old crew of Kyle Justin and Mike Matei. Back when they kept it simple and small, they all felt like legitimate friends and were involved in the videos in just the right amounts. Justin, however, is needlessly overused, and his involvement in these music videos are the worst offense thus far. Okay, so we've established that Justin sucks and needs to go away. But what about the actual music itself? The concept of covering video game music on real instruments, especially giving it that heavy metal sound, has been done literally since the beginning of YouTube. People were uploading videos doing that. So that in and of itself is not a new concept. There are artists out there that are doing the same thing that Rex Viper is doing, but doing it so much better. just boggles my mind that this concept was the concept that James finally landed on for his band. I think he knew, since he had such a massive fan base, that it would be easier for him to get this music out to more people than it would be for much smaller YouTube channels that do the same thing, who have a fraction of the fan base that Cinemassacre does. But people can tell the difference. Whether you're an e-celeb or just a kid in his bedroom, the quality speaks for itself. And judging by the comment section of these music videos, the AVGN fans are starting to notice the lackluster quality. Aside from the videos themselves, people have also pointed out there are sonic problems inside the music itself. Now, I'm a music guy. I have my own band. My channel is named after my band. I produce all my own music, and I consider myself somewhat of a decent producer and engineer when it comes to music. So I've kind of broken down the issues that I have with these songs, and I wrote down some notes over here, so forgive me if my eyes keep going back and forth. Didn't feel like memorizing all this shit. So I'm going to go over some overall issues that all 4 songs share, and then I'm going to nitpick the individual songs. So overall, the mixes for these songs are muddy as hell. Everyone is stepping on each other's toes in the sonic atmosphere, with only really the vocals and lead guitars being the main things that stick out. The second thing is, everything is compressed to hell. It just sounds like one big brick-walled noise salad. The instruments that get fucked over the worst in these songs are the bass and the drums. There's definitely not a defined low-end pocket to any of these songs, and sometimes the drums are barely even audible at all. The vocalist is decent, but I feel like his performances were rushed and he didn't get the best takes that he could have gotten, because some of his vocals in the songs are pitchy and out of tune, which would be fine for a live performance, but given that this is a studio performance of the song, you would expect everything to pretty much be in tune, especially the singer. I will go out and say the lead guitar player is probably the most talented guy in the group, and I like how he strings his guitar like the Jimi Hendrix style, where the highest strings are on the top of the guitar and the low strings are in the bottom. That is a very rare way to play the guitar, and it seems like it would be really difficult. So kudos to that guy. So the first song, I'm going in reverse order here because that's how I watch the videos or whatever. The first song, Eye of the Tiger, Electronics. I felt like this song didn't need the clips of the nerd at the beginning and middle of the song. If you're a new listener to this song, those clips are not going to make any sense to you unless you've already seen the particular nerd video or you know what a Tiger Electronics game is. But I mean, judging by his audience, they probably do, but I just didn't think those clips were necessary. It sounds like during the chorus, it's the eye of the tiger, it sounds like there's someone like doing like this, almost attempting like a scream vocal in the background, and it sounds really bad. Was that you, Justin? Was that your contribution? I doubt it was, but it might have been. But either way, it sucked. The lyrics on all these songs are pretty corny, but this one is the worst. Rising up to the challenge of the Game Boy. Ugh, God. Woof. All right, next song is that they did Hearts on Fire, which this song isn't like a mashup at all. Like, their gimmick isn't even really intact here. This is just a straight up like cover of the original song from Rocky IV. The song, for the most part, is pretty boring. You know, I guess it's a training sequence for all the video game characters and all that. The end of the song is all right. That's probably when it gets the most interesting, when it does the "Getting Strong Now" chant at the end or whatever. I'm not trying to just like shit on these songs because it's like trendy to do so right now or anything like that. I truly think they're horrible, but I will point out parts that I think are genuinely good, you know, or genuinely somewhat entertaining. But if you watch the music video, the scene's ruined by Justin's appearance in them. Moving on, you have the Power Glove of Love. Oh, Nintendo Power of Love. There you go. I liked the various tempo changes in this song. There was a couple of them. If you're recording to a metronome in the studio, doing a tempo change is really hard. So I like the ambitious nature of that, and mashing it up with the Power of Love and the Back to the Future theme. But this song is definitely the point where I can really hear the problems with the mix the worst. It's a very muddy mix. Overall, I feel there is just like too much going on in this song at any given time. And the studio engineer, if they even had one, was like too afraid to turn down any one thing. So I feel like everything is dialed in at 11. There's no dynamics, you know, there's no quiet parts, loud parts. It's all just 10, 10, volume 10 the whole time. It's like everyone wanted their part front and center, except the drummer, who usually gets the shaft in these songs. And then finally, the first song, the Mighty Wings and Hadoukens. The vocal harmonies in this song are sloppy. Those could have been tightened up very easily if you were using like a proper recording rig. The singer is super pitchy in this song at some points. Again, this would be forgivable if this was a live performance, but I mean, he should have been able to nail these, but he didn't. And it sounded like vocals are one thing that you do not want to be pitchy or off in the song. That is the most noticeable thing. And much like all the other Rex Viper songs, this song suffers from over compression. So I feel like overall, if they had gotten a better mix with their songs and the actual band members weren't in the videos, this might not be so bad. But given the pseudo-amateur production and the awful performances from the band members in the videos, this is not something that I am interested in, and I hope they stop doing it. I hope they stop making new videos. The only novel idea that Rex Viper had was doing the whole video game music mashed up with 80s songs, but the video game music isn't that good, and the 80s covers aren't that good, so combining the two together is kind of the only saving grace of watching one of these videos. But you'd really only want to check this out if you were curious about it, and you're probably only going to listen to it once. Doesn't have a whole lot of... I don't see this having a lot of replay value, except for the so bad it's good, you know? I don't see some friend showing his other friend like, dude, you gotta check out this band Rex Viper. They're so fucking sick, bro. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Rex Viper. At first, I wasn't going to do this video because I thought, oh, it's just a bunch of like middle-aged guys just having fun, whatever. And then they released a second and third and fourth video, and I'm like, okay, they're taking this kind of seriously. And that's when I felt I needed to make this video and offer my criticisms. And yes, I guess I even kind of took a shit on them. It went a little beyond criticism. But whatever, man. It's an editorial. You know, you don't have to agree with me. Whether you do or don't, though, please let me know in the comments. I'm interested in seeing what you think, and I'm interested in seeing if this is going to be nothing but a bunch of James Rolfe fanboys coming to his aid and acting like he can do no wrong. There's some videos popping up around my head that I've done in the past, whether it be my music or my own video game videos that I've done. Feel free to go and criticize those and make your own video about me telling me I suck. That would be cool. But yeah, until next time, remember to subscribe, ring the notification bell, like this video, dislike the video. Either way, it provides engagement, which is good for me. And until next time, have a good rest of your night.